Hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Valerie Haas. I am the Organizational Learning and Development Lead at Goodwill Columbus, and I'm here again to talk to you about customer service. But most specifically, I want to talk to you about addressing difficult customers. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm live now on Facebook and on YouTube. These videos will be saved here on these platforms for you to come back and review again at a later time. We are happy to have you here today, and we're going to get started here in just a moment. In a few moments, though, you will see our moderator will be here in the chats. That is Victor Johnson. He is one of our career facilitators at Goodwill Columbus. And so feel free to put your questions in the chat and he will answer them because I may not be able to see them while I'm talking to you, okay? So with that said, let's get started. We're going to talk about addressing difficult customers. So first, let me share my screen here so we can get started. Yes. All right. I just want to make sure that you guys can see things appropriately. Share this full screen. Excellent. And hopefully you can see me too. All right. So we're going to talk about addressing difficult customers. Now, let's start first with the importance of providing excellent customer service and what things are necessary in order to do that. So you have to be empathetic. In other words, put yourself in their shoes, right? That's the first thing you want to be mindful of. You want to be courteous and respectful. That should go without saying. Never show any indifference to others. You know, they say indifference is the worst emotion that you can ever express. Indifference means you don't care at all. You don't care enough to get happy and you don't care enough to get mad. So indifference to others, you don't want to ever have. And definitely you don't want a customer to feel that you have indifference towards them. You don't want to contradict or argue or match wits with a customer. Yes, the customer is always right. Yes, the customer isn't always right, but we should treat them like they are always right because they are who pays our salaries. They are your boss. Believe that or not, it is the truth. Without customers, there's no need for any of us to work. So customers are very valuable to you and you must treat them as such. And you don't want to contradict them or argue with them or match wits with them. You will not win from that. That same customer, whether they are right or wrong in reality, they are going to leave there and the word of mouth is more powerful than any other form of advertising. They're going to go away and they're going to talk about it. They're going to put their own spin on it, of course. It may or may not be accurate, but the truth is you now have someone walking out of your business spreading bad words about the service that you provide. That is never a benefit to any business. So you don't want to argue with them. Treat them with respect, even when they are wrong, and try your best to satisfy them as you escort them out the door, okay? You don't ever want to leave your clients, your customers feeling as if they have to combat you, okay? You want to show good manners because that's always going to get you a little bit further and consistently go above and beyond. Going above and beyond doesn't necessarily mean that it takes a lot of work on your part to do that. Remembering someone's name, remembering what they like or something they've expressed, taking notice to something that maybe others might not. That in and of itself demonstrates that you are someone who cares and is someone who is going above and beyond the fact of just completing a transaction for a customer. That's what's important. That's what the customer wants to feel, that they are more than a transaction. Now, with all of that said, it's hard to follow all of these things when you have people who aren't so nice and aren't so easy to satisfy. That's a part of life as well. Sometimes those difficult customers are our family members. They are our bosses, our coworkers. Sometimes we are that difficult customer. So know that there may be other things happening in the lives of these customers before they even come into our path, but we still have to treat them with respect, regardless of what they may be facing, and make their experience with us one that's memorable and lasting for the right reasons, not the wrong ones. So let's talk about some tips to keep in mind when you're dealing with difficult customers. All right. So what if I'm addressing an unhappy customer? Here's one thing you might want to do. When a customer makes a complaint, take a mental step back and breathe. Look, breathing has powers in and of itself. Yes, it's what keeps us alive, but it also keeps us calm and keeps us centered and keeps us in the present moment. So when you take a step back and you breathe, it allows you to let go of any negative emotional responses that may have irritated you and may escalate this matter even further. Okay, so just step back and breathe. Next thing, you want to give the customer your full attention and listen to the whole problem before responding. Put yourself in their shoes. This is when you are practicing empathy, okay? One thing I always tell people, no matter what type of job you are doing, if you have a transactional type of job that's a pretty consistent thing, you're used to the same questions, you're used to the same responses from people, you have many people that are seeking, desiring the same thing as this customer. So when they start asking the question, you probably recognize where this question is going to go. My suggestion to you is to never cut off that customer. Allow them the opportunity to express themselves. Allow them the opportunity to ask the question in full. Because two things happen here. One, you may be hearing this question for the 1000th time, but it's their first time asking you. And you have to respect the fact that there may be a little more to their question than maybe the last 999 people had when they asked it. This may be that time when you may jump the gun and make assumptions, which can also be very dismissive to a customer. So allow them the chance to share what it is that they have to say, ask the question in full, wait for them to finish before responding. That just shows a sign of respect and that you are present in the moment with them. Next thing, don't jump the gun. That actually goes in with what I just said. You might deal with the same complaints all day, but it's their first time asking. So listen in full, in totality before responding. Those two go hand in hand. Next thing, try to understand. Don't become defensive, even if a mistake was made by someone else. Put yourself in that customer's shoes. Look, if the mistake was made by your coworker, by your boss, by someone that works for your company, but at a different city, state, or location, it doesn't matter. You represent the company. And so if someone made the mistake in your company, you made the mistake. And it's not a time to get defensive or feel attacked. It's a time for you to sit, listen, and understand where this particular customer is coming from. All right? Always use your initiative when dealing with complaints. It says, do what you can to diffuse tension and emotion and help the customer by resolving the issue. It's up to you, even when you involve others. So you'll want to make sure that you are taking initiative, doing what you can to take the lead to resolve this particular matter for this particular customer, no matter how many other people are involved in the process. Never pass the customer around from person to person. Oh my gosh. This is another way in which one may call this passing the buck. This can really take one person who is upset about one thing and allow them to escalate their anger even further. When you feel that you have been passed around to multiple people, all because it feels as if the last person just didn't want to deal with your problem, that may or may not be the case, but that's how the customer is left feeling. So I've always told people that when someone comes to you with a problem, the problem is now yours to resolve. Try your best not to pass this person around to 2 or 3 other individuals. Get it resolved for them, even if it involves 2 or 3 additional individuals. You may be the person who has to call on those other folks to make this customer happy. Your job is to make the experience of the customer easy and to provide less bumps in the road, not more. So do your best to take ownership and find accountability in resolving this matter for that customer when they present it to you. Also, once the customer has aired their grievance, you should immediately give a sincere apology. Again, it doesn't matter whether or not you were the person who made the mistake. It's still your responsibility as a representative of the organization. Do what you can to resolve the matter and to make sure that the conflict doesn't escalate from there. And you can do that by simply saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this happened. It is my responsibility to ensure that we try our best to get this resolved, and I'm going to do what I can to make sure that we make the rest of your experience positive and I get you what you need. You have to take responsibility. They came to you with a problem, make it right and do it with respect. By saying I'm sorry, by apologizing and taking ownership of the mistake, it shows that you respect the customer. It shows that you care about their experience. Also, customers never want to hear excuses. However, you are fully entitled to briefly explain why they didn't receive the standard service they expected. But this should only take place after you've listened to their complaint and made the apology. Okay, you can let them know that, well, we do have some new people working. They may not have understood fully what your request was. I'm sorry that happened. And you go on with making it right, but never make excuses. It's never the customer's problem what things or problems that you experienced as a member of this team. It's never the customer's responsibility to hear it, to have patience with it. They're there simply to support your business. They've come there for a service. They expect to get it, and they want to be back on their way back to their life to deal with their own set of issues that they may have. You never want to boggle them down and make them feel sorry for your experience. That's not why they're here. You want to do what you can to apologize and make the situation right. That's all they care about. And so when you are the one serving the customer, whether that person receives excellent customer service or poor customer service is all up to you. You have that responsibility. And here's what I also want you to know. There are going to be times when the company makes mistakes. Companies are run by human beings, and human beings make mistakes. It's not about the mistake. It's all about how you go about resolving the mistake that matters. That's what matters the most. That's all that customer really cares about. That's all they want to hear about. So make that right. And that's all I got. So remember, customer service is your responsibility, regardless of who the customer is. It's all about the excellent service they expect to get from you. So with that said, that's all I have for now. Please take some time to go back, look on this platform, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, and check out some of our previous videos we've shared on communication and just about delivering customer service in general. Take heed to that information and be prepared for that next opportunity to be a blessing to somebody else. That's all I have. Until we meet again, make sure tomorrow, though, you check to see what time our panel discussion is. It's happening at 10 a.m. It is going to happen. It's going to happen on both Facebook and YouTube. So it doesn't matter where you are, wherever you like to be, we'll be there at 10 a.m. And we're going to have a panel discussion that talks specifically about conflict resolution. I think conflict resolution. That's what we're talking about. So please watch us, share. If you have questions, be ready to ask them. We'll be ready to answer. Until then, talk to you soon. Bye.